What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage. And there's nobody quite here yet, but I'll give you guys a couple minutes to file in. Because hopefully I got it right this time. Hopefully there's somebody. This is good. This is good. Somebody showed up. Glad to see it. There we go. There we go. Now we're starting to trickle in. We're live from the garage. So there was no heads up on this stream. There was no pre-stream thing. There's none of the fancy crap in the corner, stuff like that. We're just coming straight from the garage. So we got ICT, TJ, Flaquito, Scuba Sam, Socrates, Mom, stick around. Get Floyd if he's not around. He's going to want to see this. Bill, Jeff, what up, Andrew? Ted, Ryan McElhinney. I've got a big surprise for you guys. And I'll tell you what, the first person that can guess the surprise, I will give them a Canny Logic unit. Actually, no, take that back. Not a Canny Logic unit. Stay right there. I happen to have a Nitrous Express signal synchronizer, brand new in the box, never been opened. The first person that can guess the surprise of the garage, the big announcement, will win that signal synchronizer. So guess away. I'm watching the chat here. And for those who are preemptively going to ask, we're drinking 18 watt by Single Cut. You know, my go-to beer. It is Thursday, Friday here in the garage. You're going on TV. No, Scuba Sam. I actually have not heard from any TV networks in a while. It's been a while since I've heard from any TV shows. I was a little bit, is not an unlocked C8. Andrew, it might be a new car, but you got to give me more information than that. You got to take a guess. Not a new sponsor. It's not a blower. Not buying a dyno. It's not a supercharger for the Shelby. Oh, Scuba Sam. Scuba Sam. Whoop. That's my beers in the way. Just take it in. Take it in. Breathe it in. Congratulations, Scuba Sam. You nailed it. Whoa. Oh. So, congratulations, Scuba Sam. You have won yourself a signal synchronizer. Yes. Yes, we have finally another Corvette in the garage. Sorry, everybody. No more GT350. And I'll break it down to you. I'll give you the reason why. And there's kind of a legitimate reason why. TJ, I have your shirt. I will get it mailed out. I promise. I promise. Been a busy couple weeks. Not to take anything away from the GT350 at all. Great car. An amazing car, in fact. Very amazing car. And even more of a amazing motor. That motor, the Voodoo motor in particular, is just, yes, Ford is why. The Voodoo motor is just absolutely an amazing piece of engineering. And I'm very, I got to the point where I was looking at all these power mods and stuff like that, and it's just not necessarily the platform to be doing it on, because it's such a well-balanced, thought-out car and things like that. You'd be better off doing a Coyote build, things like that. No, we'll still be doing some Ford stuff. Trust me. There's going to be Ford stuff. In fact, I've been tuning some Ford stuff on the side. But this thing, we're going to throw everything at it. We're going to make this thing an absolutely insane, mind-blowing, crazy. Yes, exactly. As Michael Breakoff says, I'm just a Chevy. I'm just a Corvette guy. The first car that I bought new off a showroom lot, or showroom floor actually, was a C6 Corvette. And I've been wanting another Corvette for so long. And luckily the prices of the GT350s have gone up fairly substantial since I bought that one. So valve spring broken, swallowed the valve. Oh, grenaded the LT5. Sorry, TJ, that sucks. So that out of the way, we're obviously going to tune the ever-loving crap out of this thing. Quick details. This is a 2016, I believe it is a ZL2, even though it has some special order options on it. It's got about 8,000 miles on it. It's got the special order option for the spice red interior, which I can, oh, that's right, LT2. LT5 is the ZR1. Let's see if I can do this. It's got the full spice red interior special option package on it, along with the silver blade wheels, which they don't, apparently people don't order those very often. I can kind of see why. I'm not the biggest fan of them. It's got the aero package with the carbon fiber side skirts. And why is my camera all wonky? How do I fix this? I don't know what happened to my camera. Yeah, we'll sort it out here. How about I just do it that way? Now it's going that way. So that is, and it's Laguna Beach Red or whatever the heck they call it. There we go. Now the camera looks good. So let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about modifying this thing. Let's talk about tuning it. What are we going to do? I'm not normally a red guy, Ryan, but I love this dark red. I actually do. Yeah, I know it was throwing me off too, WS6. So dropping the valve sub 1,000 miles. Was it the intake or the exhaust valve, TJ? Thanks, Brad. Oh, Ryan. You know, I was running an Amazon intercooler on mine and I didn't have much of an issues, but I did pressure check it, and buying one of those things that you plug into the end and pressure everything up, see how much leakage you have, is worth the $30 or whatever. What up, Brad? Oh yeah, we're going to full send it. Can you go straight methanol? We're not going to go straight to methanol. The fun, we will probably eventually pro chart it. Yeah, it is a Z06, so it is an LT4. It's already got a Whipple. It is it's a Gen 5 ECU. Ever try launch control on an Auto C6, Jeff? I have not. Oh, wow. The RPM limiter was still in. Hadn't even came off yet. Socrates, that's the only way to make big money or big power on these. I don't know that anybody really makes a ready for market twin turbo setup for the Z06s yet. And so you can try and upgrade the Whipple or Magnuson, whatever the heck's on it. If you want to go, well, Socrates, I think that's going to be what I do first, though, is go max effort on the supercharger, get it ported, do all that fun stuff, pull it down as much as possible. But yeah, we can dyno it first. That's not a bad idea. We need to be doing that anyways. You know, Andrew, it doesn't whine that much right now because the intake on this has, I think it's got the elephant ears or whatever that stick out to the side that keeps the noise down. Pop the hood. Okay. Oh, where's the hood latch? There it is. Thought I was going to have to read the manual for a second. I wish I could easily switch this camera around. Okay, here we go. I'm looking at the side. As you can see, bone stock. Absolutely nothing. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if you're going to be able to see down in there, but that snorkel setup that comes off the intake is what drowns out a lot of the supercharger noise on these things. So that's going to have to go. Probably have to get rid of these ugly coil covers because those things are just absolutely hideous. But yeah, not bad, not bad. Really stoked about it. Really, really excited to be back in the Corvette world. And welcome to Flip Around World. Exactly. Release the wine. Okay. So, what did I miss? Do a before and after 0 to 60 on stock in with tune. Okay, I'll do that, Flaquito. No problem there. I got the Draggy charged up anyways. So, TJ, the valve just bounced around in there. Yes, Heavy Chevy, the Coyote's gone. We've replaced it with an LT4. Thanks, Ryan. Talk to you later, brother. It is an automatic. And there's multiple reasons for me wanting to go back to an automatic. Yeah, I mean, as much as I love standards. Batsy, we're going to see it very soon. Literally, the only reason that we haven't seen the Super Auto is because I've been too lazy to haul the trailer down there and load it up and bring it back to the garage to work on it. Good to know, Socrates. Headers have been really scarce lately. I was actually looking at headers just a little while ago. Shoot, Brandon, let me know. This has got that TCM that has to be sent in to be unlocked, so I'll have to holler them up. Oh, it made the piston disappear, but the rod stayed. Did the rod disintegrate since it's powdered metal or what? What up, Ted? Ooh, where do I get a reasonable supercharged setup for an F-body? That's going to be a question for the chat, but I'm sure somebody in here can probably tell you what's good for the F-bodies. It is the 8L90, Andrew. So the 8-speed automatic. Fun. I was looking at Speed Engineering because I was really happy with their headers on the Super Auto. I'll have to double check, but I think 2016 was the first year that the TCM needed unblocking. What up, Eric? Well, Heavy Chevy, I got too much money for it. Am I coming to LS Fest this year? Probably not this year, Nick. I've got so much going on. Because I spent a lot of vacation on Rocky Mountain Race Week and stuff like that. So can I share the current tune on the vet? Yeah, I'd be more than happy. It should be stock. It better be stock. It's only got 8,000 miles. No, you don't need to send in the ECU. You only need to send in the TCU to unlock it, or the transmission. I mean, I'll double check real quick. I can pull it up. In fact, I've got my other laptop sitting right here. Let's just do it like this. HP tuners, vehicles, and 2017. I might be good then because this is a 2016. Bonus round, don't have to send it in. I may have been looking at a 2017 briefly whenever I looked this up, and then I found this 2016 right down the road from me with almost no miles on it. I can't switch to the tune screen on here because I'm on my tablet and I'm down in the garage. Awesome, fun. 1,000cc injectors are what, 80? They 80 pounders? That doesn't sound right. Thank you, David. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for tuning into the live show and watching the videos, I'm glad to have everybody along for this ride. And, we've got, especially on the live show, because everybody's like a family. Okay, 1,000 cc is 96 pounds. 850 is 80 pounds. Yep, there we go, 95ers. TJ's got a 2019 427 Copo with less than 10 miles. So 40 passes for 120. I'm just messing with you, TJ. So the guys at the dealership got a crack out of it because I was like, yeah, I'm buying this. And I took it for a test drive and I came back and he's like, so? And I was like, hey, it's not bad. It's kind of fast. He's like, kind of fast. And I was like, well, I got like a 1,300 horsepower Silverado and an 850 horsepower Nova. Yeah, this thing is it's different. But man, the Nova's running so good right now. Oh yeah, I saw that new 572 Copo. Thing's a beast. Just fishing. Appreciate it, man. Still has all the factory plastic wrappers on the inside. Appreciate it, Andrew. Love you, brother. I don't know. What is that? Is that Whipple or Magnuson? You guys tell me. I don't know anything about Roost style superchargers. Well, it's an Eaton. I believe it's technically an Eaton. What up, Ozman? Yeah, it is an Eaton TVS supercharger. But isn't Eaton Whipple the same thing, basically? Oh, and poor Justin. We were hold on. I'm texting him. We were doing Justin's Challenger with the Pro Charger this weekend, and he hadn't driven his car in a couple weeks, and he has a carport that he has it parked underneath. And he went to go start it up yesterday, and it wouldn't start, and he opened the hood, and a groundhog had climbed up in there and ate through 2 injectors and 1 ignition coil harness. Well, you guys school me on this. Tell me what's the difference. Okay, so an Eaton is a root style. A Whipple is a twin screw. They look the same. Good to know, TJ. Oh no, Booger, we're drinking 18 watt from Single Cut. We're having brewskis. This Thursday, Friday. Let's go. What I need to do is just get all of you guys in a Zoom call, and you guys can just explain to me the stupid stuff that I don't know. I love it. It's just like Eaton versus Whipple versus Pro Charger, yada 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 versus everything. Superchargers are so awesome, though. You know, I'm not biased, but I'm a Pro Charger guy. I like centrifugal. How much timing should I take out going from NA to a Pro Charger? Around 9 PSI on a 1562 truck for the initial running process. Drop it down to about 16, Alex, and then start ramping it back in whenever you get the fueling sorted out. David, I've been trying to get my VE error to log. However, nothing is logging in the scanner. Do you see the blue box moving around, but there's no numbers? Oh, okay. Atwood says Eaton lobes are straight, not twisted. No, that can't be right. Because isn't an Eaton a twin screw? Wouldn't it be or is the Whipple the twin screw? Okay, you're right. Eaton is a roots, Whipple is a twin screw, so it has the twists. Thanks, Lee's Garage. There you go. Kilometer says Vortec all the way. I've never ran a Vortec. Nothing against them. Boger 11B. Cold front came in and air's a lot more dense. Wide open throttle. AFR went from 12.3 to 11.8. That is backwards. If the air is more dense, you should have seen it go leaner if anything, because you're getting more air, depending on if you're in mass airflow or you're in volumetric efficiency. If you're in volumetric efficiency, as I said, you should possibly could go a little bit leaner because there's not a lot of compensation for density in there other than the manifold air pressure versus barometric pressure offset. But so I'm here. Is it normal for VE values on P01 to be 120, barely creeping into the boost areas? Depending on the efficiency, TJ. If you have a very efficient motor, if you really open up the airflow, you can get past 100. 100 is kind of I don't know that 100 necessarily equates to a proper baseline on the P01 versus like saying that if you're at 100% VE efficiency that you're moving 100% of displacement. I can't say that for a fact, but I would not be too freaked out if you saw 120 barely creeping in. So 92 says Whipple and Kenny Bell are screw types. Should I change injectory boundary settings after BTR stage 2 in A? Brandon, only if you smell fuel. If you don't, leave it alone. Easier is just not to mess with it unless you have to. TJ, I'm so backed up on tunes right now, you would be waiting a while. Well, Brian, that's the nice thing. Brian says, I need to get back into my tune again and work on fine tuning it some more. Every time I've had it on the trails, I've just been too busy enjoying it. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's safe and you're enjoying it, that's a good tune. Sure, there might be a little bit left on the table, but low voltage to coil 6. Yeah, you probably have a wiring issue, Joshua. Hey, Eric. Small pulling, and some porting on the blower coming soon. Yes, BJ, that's one of the first things I've been looking up. What up, TK? How to tune fueling on wet shot nitrous. Honestly, Cody, generally whenever they do the jet sizing for a wet shot of nitrous, they tune it a little bit rich, which is perfectly fine. If you have AFR and you can go in there and look at it and see that you're going richer than you want to on your wet shot, you can actually nozzle down or jet size down a little bit. But shooting nitrous, you're better off being a little bit rich because you got to remember, it takes air, it takes fuel. You're adding a ton more air, given that nitrous has way more oxygen than atmospheric air does. And so having a little extra fuel in there, keep it safe. Stick with the jet requirements on there. You'll be fine. Have a very smelly cammed Corvette. In which direction should I move the boundary? Look at your end of injection timing, Socrates, and move it closer towards top of lobe on your intake. No. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. I always get the timing thing. So essentially you've got your intake and your exhaust lobe. As you're rotating through, what's happening is that you're injecting fuel in and it's opening the intake lobes, our intake valve sooner before the exhaust valve is closed, and that is drawing fuel out the exhaust side. And so you basically want to hold off from injecting, but all that stuff is in degrees. So you got to look at it from TDC. And so let me think about this. No, you want to move your SOI out. So if your SOI was at 10 degrees, try moving it out to 5 degrees, something like that. See you, Mark H, Mike H. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Just fishing, I'm probably at least a month out right now. David, you're saying using the AM X series serial input, and you're getting the value on the parameter list on your left. No, I've never tuned with nitromethane. Better do balancer pulley, less chance to slip. Are these not? These are. These have keys on them from the factory. Oh, awesome. 1988 V8 S10 says, just discovered your channel a couple months ago. Thanks to you, I'm now tuning the LS3 S10. Oh, yeah, man, I'm always helping patrons with their tunes. And I'm trying to get better at it, which is here lately has been a lot easier for me as things have settled down. I would be interested to see how O2 sensors deal with the dash and nitromethane also. See you, Heavy Chevy. Thanks for stopping in, brother. It's put in there in the scanner, but it's not showing up on your graph. It's got to be your math parameter. Something funky's going on there, David. Try taking that math parameter and adding it to the graphs table and see if it's populating not the graphs, but the help me out. I'm opening up a window over here so I can see what I'm talking about. Make sense of things. What do they call it? I opened the wrong window. Chart versus time. Add the math parameter to the chart versus time and see if it populates an output there to verify that your math is working properly. If you have any questions on that, go into tools and math parameters and look at your math parameter and make sure nothing's pink in the expression or the unit channel. Gary S., take it one step at a time. Focus on one video at a time. Don't try to digest too much information. What's your opinion on torque management on a 6L80 tune? Honestly, Jeff, there's a lot of dudes doing some crazy stuff without touching torque management on the 6L80. I've seen cars down in the 9s on the stock tune of the 6L80. Whenever people start smoking 6L80s, it's because they've jacked with torque management. There you go. Fun says you would need an NTK sensor, which I agree with that for M1 or nitromethane. Gen 3, getting lean restart when tuning, then after a few minutes, things even out. Yeah, that's typical, Cody. That's the, lean after, then it richens out. Normally it's rich after. Double check your trims. Make sure your long-term fuel trims aren't messing with you, Cody. Gotcha, fun. So you're saying I should probably just go ahead and get an overdrive pulley for the crank. Which drives better? I don't know because I've only driven this thing in the rain. And I will tell you, even in full-blown weather mode, which it has a weather mode on there, if you accidentally sneeze while trying to accelerate from a stop sign, it will just absolutely smoke the tires off and make you look like an idiot. Sweet Rock on Montana is getting his heads back for the 6-liter. And then it's going into the 71C10. Yeah, no problem, DMC. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Hey, Sam, by the way, shoot me an email before I forget. Any new features for the MPVI 2 Pro? Are you asking about the 2 Plus Pro? The only new feature is the new connector on there. In fact, I got one over here. Ugh. We can do the official, unofficial unboxing of the HP Tuners ProLink Plus. And there's the new screw-in connector for the MPVI 2 Plus, which I like. And that was actually kind of a good upgrade. You know, it's not one of those things where you need to rush out and get a MPVI 2 Plus by any means. But if you are using the ProLink stuff to bring in outside analogs or even CAN bus, and if you're doing the CAN bus side of it, let me know because I want to know what you're doing. But that connector is a lot better because it comes out of the front as opposed to the side. Redbit, my C5 auto cam chop smooths out when I turn my AC on, but chops hard when I turn it off. What's causing this in the tune? Yeah, you've got too much airflow correction for the AC on. Thing about it is, though, man, you probably don't want a lot of cam chop with the AC on. It may be hard on the compressor. But you can lower, if you go in there, there's a specific airflow table for whenever your AC is on Red Vet. Try lowering that down a little bit. Sweet, Richard. So just passed emissions for the last time. WS6 is going to get some love this winter. Ed Carr, good question. Has helping people with their tubes become easier now that you don't have to pay to edit the file with the MPVI tube? Night and day. Night and day. Now, granted, Ed, back in the day, I really wasn't doing a lot of, I was doing tune help. I wasn't doing custom tunes at that point in time because that was one of the things. Whenever they finally brought out the feature of being able to save, which you still have to have an interface. You can't save, you can't edit tunes and save them without an interface, but you just don't have to register or license the tune. So yes, that's made all the difference in the world. Back in the day, I used to spend a lot of time taking screenshots of tables and walking through and being things like that. Now I can just basically, a lot of times just like change this and go. Oh, thanks, Ted. Joshua, not that I've heard of, but they're not going to tell me anything about HP having concerns about the CA emissions regs. I honestly, guys like HP tuners don't care about California. California is not their target demographic at all, which blows my mind. I don't know how AEM is now that they've been bought by Holley, but back in the day, AEM was always just paranoid about, you can't use any of our stuff on a car that has a license plate. Literally, I've talked to AEM. AEM almost sponsored the channel, and they were like, we can't sponsor you because you have license plates on your cars. And I'm like, I ain't worried about, man. Like, we're talking about wideband gauges. Yeah, we don't allow any of our parts on cars that have a license plate. We won't sponsor, and I was just like, man, you guys are ate up about it. And that's because they're in California. At least they were in California. As far as HP tuners, they're a international company. California makes up that much of their customer base. They don't care about California. They'll let California do California's things. They'll focus on the other 49 states and the other 6 continents. There you go, Ed. Well, Andrew, as soon as we get a nice dry day where we can go out and hoon this thing a little bit, we'll definitely go out and have some fun. Swap to P01 Tahoe OS and Flex sensor and ID 1300s. Had to reduce fuel min milligrams to 0.01. That sounds about right. Dialed in VE runs good, but have lean on tip in. Sometimes cuts out when you blip throttle when idle. Scott Wolford, look at the fuel impact factor in transient. Try bumping that up to compensate for the reduced fuel minimum. The problem is you're running very, very, very on DMC. Thank you, brother. You're running very, very big injectors on a ECU that struggles with injectors that size. And as I said, you can try to make up some of it on fuel wall impact factor, but you've handcuffed yourself a little bit by lowering the minimum fuel milligrams down to 0.01. DMC Bigfoot, there's no nitrous purge. Here. Since I'm in the garage and I don't have the nitrous purge set up, there we go. DMC Bigfoot got a nitrous purge. It's the best I can do right now. Do I have tuning videos for nitrous? Yes, I do. Thus the nitrous purge. Nevada's announced it's going to start using Cali's standards. Well, move to Oklahoma. Thank you, buddy. What size turbo would you recommend on Gen 3 with a 275, 277 advertised duration cam? Brad, I'm not the person to ask on that, but keep your eyes peeled. Somebody in the chat room will have some suggestions. Yeah, Socrates, that's probably a good idea. I might have to go back through there and screenshot that one, or maybe make a small clip of that and replace the old XLR Nitrous Purge gift that loops whenever somebody donates, and use that one for the new one. Good crowd tonight. We got 80 people in here. And so if you're just showing up, the big news. I'm going to turn the computer around here. I'm just going to do that. This was the big news. Go back and watch the beginning of it where we go through everything. But this is the garage's new Z06 that we're going to be throwing all the tunes at. How many interfaces do I have? I've just got two. Just got two. My question is, how much boost on a 5.3 with the GT45 clone in 93 pump gas? Compression ratio, Brandon. That's going to be what determines it. But you can probably get 10 out of it, all right. Have an issue with my cam upgrade, but only accelerating from stop with AC on. What's it doing, Mike? Thank you, Atwood. There you go. DZ says GT40. You can't go wrong with the GT45, honestly. Might be a little undersized for a 6 liter, but it's pretty solid. Oh, I must have missed something. Thank you, Ed Carr, for piping in. It says, Brian Allen, the correction the ECM does depends on how good the tune is. The better the tune, the less corrections there will be needed, which is correct. Delays 1 to 5 seconds before Excel. Bro, get a log of that and send it to me. Shoot me a log of that, Mike, because that's crazy. That's crazy talk. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. There you go. ICT Car Guy said, holler at Richard Holdner on a live stream. He will be able to answer that in Spain. Holy crap. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but. I know, but it spools so quick, DZ. Hey, I got to grab a beer. You guys keep yourself occupied. Oh, yeah. Old school. Old school. Straight out of the Project Country Club. Okay, we're moving over to the Hitchhiker opposite Bane. One of their big ones is Bane of Existence, which is a double IPA. It's a little bit strong. See you, Jeff. Do you see that's the logo on my Nitrous bottle that was in Project Country Club. It's Shooter McGavran saying, I eat pieces of beep like you for breakfast. As I drop that thing. Yeah, that's interesting. I like those kind of problems, Lakita. Be interested to see what's going on. Shooter, Alex Young. Oh God, Alex Young gets a Nitrous Purge. Oh, exactly. It's funny that still use the asterisk and it still censored you on that one, ICT. Kudos for an LS and a Jaguar XK8. Hey, man, LS slot the world, Hugh Phillips. Sweet. Oh, there's TJ. TJ, you missed all the fun. This is a single IPA. Let me double check. Maybe this one is. No, this is a single IPA. It kind of has a kick of a double IPA. Helium tank. I don't have anything like that. LS Chevy Capri. Great turnout tonight. We're only going until 8:30 though, because I've got some other stuff that I've got to get done. Since we started at 7:30. Well, technically we normally only go to 8:30 anyways lately, but still, as I said, if you guys did not watch the early part of the show. Did you guys hear that? Did the mic pick that up? Bro. That big black thing over there with the Nitrous Express bottle heater on it is a mother bottle. I got plenty of nitrous. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I can hear the dogs behind the garage door over there freaking out. So, going through both heads at the moment. Blah. That's the storm is serious right now. You guys see that spittle fly out of my mouth as I talked? Wipe that off the screen. Trust me, if I was farting, you would be seeing the banners flop around. Paying $5.50 per pound. Well, fun. I haven't had my mother bottle filled up in a while, but it's the place that I get my stuff from is you end up paying like $1.30 per pound. At least the last time I got filled, it was like $1.30 per pound. It was cheap enough that it made you want to go out and just spray nitrous all the time. Where am I located? I am in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you couldn't tell from my Oklahoma accent. Yeah. As I said, I haven't gotten it filled up this year, fun. I got filled last year. So I don't know what they're going for right now, but it was so cheap. Any centrifugal superchargers that you would recommend for a stock bottle Mandel S3 with trick flow 255 sheet metal intake manifold? I mean, listen, I'm always going to recommend ProCharger because I'm a ProCharger fanboy, but at the same time, I would go out and see what's the other one? The Torque people. Help me out, chat room. Torque something or others. They're super cheap, but they don't come with all of the stuff. You have to be able to fabricate some stuff yourself. If you can't fabricate stuff yourself, stick with Torque Storm. Thank you, Rich Point. If you want to get a kit, Vortex is going to be cheaper than ProCharger generally. Torque Storm is going to be the cheapest, but it's going to be that you're going to have to do a lot more fabrication, piping, stuff like that. Well, super slow. AO 1968. So the Pro Tuner for my 5.3 LS, but it's nice to at least understand what's being done. Awesome, brother. Thank you for taking the time to jump into the live stream and say so. Ever go to Carlisle? I don't know where anything is, Richard, outside of my neighborhood. Super slow. This was not a scheduled live stream. This was an impromptu live stream. Yeah, well, you almost missed. We're about to shut it down. So here. Let me let's just change our view. I can come over here and just actually sit in front of the car now. Here, let me get it just enough where you can see the Z06 on there. Okay. Waco. I've been through Waco a few times. Super slow. I figured that might get your attention. Oh, I love that. I love it. It's got the worst name on the face of the planet. It's like Laguna Beach Red or some crap like that. Ugh, just terrible. Terrible name. My dogs are just over there freaking out. So let's get one or two more questions in, and then we're going to wrap it up for tonight. But obviously, we're going to have some content coming out here soon. Somebody said we've got a good idea of let's do a 0 to 60, then do a tune on it and see if the 0 to 60 stock changes. We might try and get it on the dyno. Jake says, I've got a 2001 Firebird, the P59 ECU swap, and I'm running a 2005 and Avalanche Flex Tune in it. My question is, should I compare the two files and use the comparison log to copy over the differences? I mean, that's a good starting point, Jake, because if everything else is the same, you want to get as much data over from the Firebird over into it. So, yeah, start there, try it out, see if it fires up. You're still going to need to go through some tuning and things like that, but the majority of the tables, if you can get them to line up, you'll be perfectly fine. Hold on, Rexer. Ugh. Okay. What should I do when the ECU has no XDF file online? Thanks for the nitrous purge, by the way. Sorry, there's so much going on. What should I do? What are you trying to do that you need an XDF file, Rexer? You're doing Tuner Pro, right? But what are you trying to do? Ever been to Texas 2K in Houston? Nope. Wasn't doing car stuff whenever I lived in Houston. SG, do you help Ford guys? Yeah, I help Ford guys. I do help Ford guys. Yeah, I know it's a Tuner Pro thing. That's why I'm asking. Like, I'm not sure what he's trying to accomplish, though. Like, are you trying to do custom registry or custom parameters or something? Good question. Scott Walford says, when you swap to boost reference on regulator, does that mess up the VE? Can you add across the table? I have an F194A, F1A 94. I will be installing after gapping rings. 19 now going to 26. You might want to go a little bit wider than 26 with an F1A 94. I'm just saying, Scott, that thing can produce a lot of boost depending on your displacement. So here's the thing about it. You've got to, and I'm going to kind of go off onto a tangent here. Whenever you're looking at fuel delivery, you're looking at fuel pressure versus manifold pressure. And what we're actually looking at on those fuel flow tables is the delta between the two, which is the difference. So as we get into boost, we are actually pushing back against the injector. The injector has to work harder. If we have a boost reference regulator, the delta should always be the same. Theoretically, you should be able to go in and look at and set it to a flat line on that thing because it's always going to have the same delta. So you're always going to have the same fuel flow rate. Then you go in and tune your airflow tables based off of that, because remember, at the end of the day, we have airflow is our variable, fuel is our constant. And then, so if we have an X and a Y and a Z, Z is our AFR. We know our AFR, we know our fuel flow as our constants, and then our variable that we tune is our airflow. So I have 99 Boxster with Bosch ME 5.2.2 trying to get rid of an airbag line. Rexer, sorry, man, I can't help you with that. Just outside of my wheelhouse. You're way outside of my wheelhouse on an ME 5.2.2. But, I mean, that's a VAG setup, there should be a lot of information out there on how to do it, because there's a lot of guys that have really hacked into those Volkswagen Audi platforms. Yeah, as DMC Bigfoot said, went 28 and 30 on the rings. That's probably what I'd do. Okay, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew, thank you, brother, as always, for showing up. Thank you for everybody else. Great crowd tonight. We hit 80. Thanks to everybody for the Nitrous tunes. Our Nitrous purges. Stick around. We're going to have some awesome stuff with the Z06. I'm thinking of a name for this one. We didn't even name the GT350, but this one will be named. I've got some ideas floating around in my head, but you're always welcome to post some ideas for Project Blank down in the description below. Let's go ahead and do a quick shout out to our sponsors, HP Tuners, Nitrous Express, ICT Billet, and of course our affiliates over at HP Academy. Check the description down below. And if you're looking at possibly doing some of the HP Academy courses, go back and watch like the last live show. I think that there's a cheaper or a better discount code in there that may be like a $50 discount code. Just saying. Listen, you guys know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning, or as we're going to say it now, ABTC, always be tuning Corvettes. See you guys later. Oh, wait. I didn't end it yet.